Guys, this is Bobby with BC Designs, and I told you the other day, I think I posted it middle of last week, I think it was, that starting on May 13th that I was going to start a new series for masculine cards. So I plan on doing this for at least 4 weeks. I'm not sure if I'll do them on Thursdays or just Mondays. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to try to do Mondays and Thursdays. But I have my first card that I'm going to share with you guys, and it's just very plain and simple. But this is a nice masculine man card. You could leave off those pearls if you want to, but you guys, they're silver, right? So that's for a guy, I think. So Country Florals is the stamp set that I'm going to use. And then I used the coordinating Country Lace 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. And then I used the white ribbon from the Petal Pink and White diagonal trim. Last time I checked, this was not available. It was out of stock, but I haven't checked it in about a week. And then the Basic Gray and Smoky Slate Pearls. I shouldn't say a week. I checked it one day last week, but I can't remember because I wasn't specifically looking for that. I used the Nested Essential dies. So that is where, whoops, that is where I got the little label for the sentiment. If I can make my hands work. Now, this is a little bit tight, the measurements for that smoky slate piece. I need to change the blade in my trimmer. So there's the label. The card base is Thick Whisper White. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And let me just score that really well. And I usually have one side, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have one side I score a little bit better than the other one. So this piece of Smoky Slate is 5.5 by 2 3/8, and then choose 3 DSP colors that are 5 by 3 1/4. And I put the Smoky Slate one in the center. And I'll show you how I did it. I just kind of lined these up. And then it doesn't really matter. I guess I'm doing the same exact design. But see how tight that is? So you want to make sure that you can fit them all on there. So I kind of lined up my blues at the top and the bottom. Because you really want to make sure, oops, that your ends, you don't want one far going to the right and the other one's going to the left or anything. So then what I did was I just held 2 pieces down and slid this one off. And I, of course, am going to use Tombow because I really want those few minutes that I need to adjust my DSP. So let's just go ahead. Now I'm going to kind of try to hold these two because I don't want them moving on me. And I'm looking at, honestly, I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the right, the left, and how much I'm leaving here. And then I'm just going to leave the silver piece in the middle and then take this piece away because we can always move that center piece if we need to, if it's we have more room to move it. So I'm just going to put this one. I'm going to really watch my end pieces to make sure. Try to get those as straight as you can. And then once you have that piece down, you can just kind of move that piece out of the way. Then come back in and just make sure that you've got everything as best centered as you possibly can. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. This is handmade cards, right? But I highly suggest using your Tombow. I'm going to let that dry just for a minute before I start to adhere it down. Then I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight ink. I'm just going to ink this up really good. And then just stamp that right in the center of your label. And then it took about 8 inches of trim ribbon. So I'm just going to kind of lay that down there and eyeball it. And just cut that off. I measured it so I would know how much to tell you guys I used on that first one. And then I want to let my ink dry on that for just a minute. So let's go ahead and put this piece down. Another thing I thought that you could do, especially if you don't want to do the pearls, is I thought you could use your Stampin' Blends and splatter. Wasn't sure how that would look, so I didn't try it on this card. But we're just going to put this right in the center, about like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of here. I just am going to put enough to hold that ribbon. And then I just folded it in half the best you can. You kind of want it to do one of those things. And I want it to be about, I didn't have quite as much sticking out at the top as what I wanted on the first one. And then I just trimmed my ends at a very sharp point. Flip that over and put some dimensionals on the back. Just like that. And then just peel those off. I told you this was going to be very quick. And if it's too long, you can just trim them a little bit more because that's sticking up. I mean, they're not really that long. I could leave them, but I am gonna, that one I guess is the only one I need to trim. We'll leave that other one. And then what did I do with the pearls? There they are. So I used the lighter of the pearls on this one. I just kind of put one there. And then grabbed a small one and put it there. And then I did grab one of the bigger ones. Whoops. Put down here at the bottom. And you could do more if you want to. I just thought 3. I always like to do 3. I think 3 is a nice number. Okay, guys, that is it for our first masculine man's card. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. And make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. Make sure you have the bell notification turned on. And I hope that you can join me this Wednesday on the 15th. I'm going to do my first YouTube Facebook Live that I've done in over a year. Bye-bye, guys. See you then.